This is the story of Katie Bates Clark, whose husband publicly confessed to having an affair just one day after she announced losing their third baby. A heartbreaking miscarriage announcement turned into a scandal that rocked one of reality TV's most well-known fundamentalist Christian families. And the timing of these events has left everyone who followed Katie's journey from childhood asking how something like this could happen. Growing up in the spotlight shaped everything about Katie Bates Clark's life. And as the 11th child and 7th daughter of Gil and Kelly Bates, she was part of a family with 19 children total. The UPTV reality series, Bringing Up Bates, ran for 6 years between 2015 and 2021, spanning 10 seasons and over 100 episodes that followed Gil and Kelly Jo Bates as they raised their 19 kids in their Tennessee home. The network described the show as capturing the love, laughs, and big life moments of this large fundamentalist Christian family. And viewers watched Katie transform from a teenager into a young woman right on their screens, witnessing her navigate the unique challenges and expectations that came with her family's religious beliefs and public platform. Katie entered the world on October 5, 2000, which makes her 25 years old now. Her formative years played out on camera while the show documented the family's deeply religious values, their commitment to fundamentalist Christian principles, and their specific approach to courtship and marriage that differed drastically from mainstream dating culture. The cameras captured birthday celebrations, family gatherings, holiday traditions, and the everyday chaos of a household with 19 children. But they also documented the more serious aspects of the family's beliefs about relationships, purity, and preparing for marriage. The show's ending came somewhat abruptly back in 2022, leaving fans disappointed and confused about why such a popular series would be canceled. Season 10 wrapped up in June 2021, but the network had filmed an entire 11th season scheduled to premiere on February 10, 2022, and then less than 1 month before that premiere date, UPTV announced the cancellation on January 18, 2022. Their statement explained, "We will not be premiering Bringing Up Bates Season 11 on UPTV as planned, as we will be focusing our programming in 2022 on movies and a new scripted series to be announced soon." UPTV added that when they first premiered the show, it focused on parents with 19 kids who were teenagers and young children, and the cameras were there to capture the love, laughs, and big life moments as the family continued to grow. The Bates family responded with grace, saying the last 10 seasons of filming had been an amazing journey and that they never expected or aspired to be on TV, but were forever grateful to UP for all the friendships they formed as a result. The cancellation meant that fans who had watched these children grow up would miss out on some of the biggest moments in their lives, including weddings that had already been filmed but would never air. Katie's wedding would have been featured in that unaired 11th season, one of the major life events that never made it to television. Nathan Bates' October 2021 wedding was also supposed to be part of that lost season, representing months of filmed content that audiences would never see. But her love story had already begun playing out before the show ended, starting when she first met Travis Clark in 2019 through mutual friends and social media connections that bridged the distance between Tennessee and New Jersey. Travis Clark came into the world on March 8, 2001, making him 24 years old now and about a year younger than Katie. Berlin, New Jersey was where he grew up as the son of Michael Clark and Carla Clark, with two siblings named Kayla Manarays and Michael Clark Jr. attending Solid Rock Christian School alongside him during his childhood years. The Clarks shared many of the same religious values as the Bates family, creating common ground that would later help facilitate the courtship between Travis and Katie. Music ran deep in Travis's family, shaping much of his upbringing and future career path. His parents Michael and Carla led the Clark Family Band, a Christian music group that travels and performs at churches across the United States, and Travis himself played cello, guitar, and piano as part of that musical legacy that had been passed down through generations. Back in 2017, he and his brother Michael launched Clark's Lawn Service in Berlin, New Jersey, showing an entrepreneurial spirit alongside his musical talents. And Travis also worked as media assistant and kids choir leader at Solid Rock Baptist Church in his hometown, demonstrating his commitment to ministry work from a young age. March 2020 marked when Katie and Travis began their official courtship after connecting the previous year and building a friendship that both families approved of. Courtship in fundamentalist Christian circles works differently than mainstream dating because it prioritizes the commitment to marriage from the outset, typically involves parental oversight and approval, and often includes strict physical boundaries that couples follow until their wedding day. The courtship model emphasizes getting to know someone with the explicit intention of determining if marriage is the right path, and it usually involves limited physical contact, chaperone visits, and constant communication with parents about the relationship's progress. Travis went all out when he proposed to Katie on April 7, 2021, at the Reach in Key West, Florida, creating a memory that would be shared across social media. An ocean pier gazebo got decorated with candles and red roses arranged in a large heart along with a "Will you marry me?" sign, and Travis even wrote and performed a song called "Will You Marry Me?" on guitar, while both sets of parents watched Katie say yes to spending the rest of her life with him. The proposal represented the culmination of their courtship and the beginning of their engagement period, during which they would plan their wedding while continuing to maintain the physical boundaries their faith demanded. 8 months later brought their wedding day, one of the most anticipated events for those who had followed Katie's journey. December 3rd, 2021 was when Katie and Travis married at Castleton Farms in Loudon, Tennessee, with approximately 400 guests attending the ceremony, which was officiated by Katie's father Gil Bates, Travis's grandfather Charles Clark Jr., and Travis's uncle Charles Clark III in a service that blended both families' traditions. The couple shared their first kiss at the altar, another practice common in their religious community that emphasizes purity and saving physical intimacy for marriage, and then flew to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico for their honeymoon. Katie had just turned 21, and Travis was still 20 years old, making them quite young by modern standards, but typical for their community where early marriage is encouraged. Travis wrote a song called "I Choose You" for their wedding, adding another musical element to a ceremony already filled with performances, and Katie's brother Lawson wrote, "I Love You Truly" specifically for the occasion, demonstrating the tight family bonds that characterized both the Bates and Clark families. Castleton Farms held special meaning for the Bates family, since Katie's sister Carlin had married Evan Stewart at the same venue back in May 2019, and Travis's sister Kayla stood as one of Katie's bridesmaids that day, symbolizing the joining of two families who would now be forever connected. Vision Baptist College graduation came on April 28, 2022, when Travis earned bachelor's degrees in media and church music while graduating summa cum laude and as salutatorian, achievements that demonstrated his academic dedication alongside his musical and ministerial pursuits. And that's when the couple really began building their life together beyond the wedding excitement. March 2022 saw Travis start working as a sales representative, adding another income stream to their household. And he promoted various products on Katie's Instagram stories like Athletic Greens and Cuts clothing over the following months, showing how young couples in their community often monetize their social media presence. February 17th, 2023 at 10:29 p.m. in New Jersey brought their first child into the world, a milestone that transformed them from newlyweds into parents. Haley James Clark weighed 6 pounds 1 ounce and measured 19 inches long, but Katie's pregnancy with Haley came with serious complications that nobody expected, and that would foreshadow ongoing health struggles. Blood clotting disorders surfaced on August 20th, 2022, requiring Katie to take 2 shots per day during her entire pregnancy to prevent dangerous complications. When she hit 37 weeks pregnant, 3 infections triggered preterm labor that only stopped after medical treatment. And that was just the beginning of Katie's health struggles that would continue long after Haley's birth. Kidney stones landed Katie in the hospital on May 30th, 2023, beginning a painful chapter that would last for months. Her birthday that year, October 5th, brought a CT scan revealing several kidney stones, with 2 being particularly significant in size. And then exactly 2 years after her wedding day on December 3rd, 2023, Katie was hospitalized with extreme pain, vomiting, and passing out from kidney stone complications. Her largest kidney stone measured 9 millimeters, which meant surgery became necessary 2 days later on December 5th to remove all the kidney stones at once in a procedure that offered relief, but also represented another medical trauma for someone so young. Travis kept pursuing his various interests during this challenging period while Katie dealt with medical issues. A single called Closer to You dropped on February 22, 2023, and he also released another single titled A Better Yes, while continuing his work in ministry and music, maintaining the career path he'd established before marriage. September 2024 brought their second child, a son named Harvey Gray Clark, and despite the challenges Katie had faced with her health, the couple seemed to be building the life they committed to during their courtship and wedding vows. Their social media presence showed a young couple devoted to their faith and family as they raised two young children in New Jersey. Travis stayed involved in ministry and music, performing with his family's band and leading children's choir at church, and Katie navigated motherhood while dealing with significant health challenges that required ongoing medical attention. But by all public appearances, everything looked like it was going according to the plan they'd laid out during their engagement. That all changed on Friday, January 16, 2026, when Katie shared news that would break the hearts of everyone who'd followed her story. Katie posted an emotional video to Instagram with the caption, "I will spend the rest of my life missing you," followed by a wing emoji, and the video took viewers through her journey of discovering she was pregnant with their third child. Footage showed her reaction to the positive pregnancy test, the joy and excitement of realizing another baby was on the way, clips of her shopping for baby clothes and imagining what this new addition to their family would be like, and a sweet moment where she surprised Travis with the pregnancy news using a onesie, teddy bear, and balloons arranged on their bed. But then the video took a devastating turn that nobody watching was prepared for. Katie appeared crying in a hospital bed, saying, "I just lost my baby," with a rawness that cut through the screen, and in a voiceover, her words revealed the depth of her grief. "I will ask God why for the rest of my life, and never will I come to understand it. Even if God himself came in front of me and told me the reason, I don't think I will accept it." The Bates family rallied immediately in the comments, offering the support and love that had always characterized their close-knit family dynamic. Kelly Jo Bates, Katie's mother, wrote that there's no way to describe the pain of a loss like this, and that their hearts were all broken, though they knew they'd meet this precious little one someday in glory, expressing the faith perspective that had sustained the family through previous trials. Carlin Stewart, Katie's sister, commented that her heart was broken for Katie and that she loved her, while sister Lydia Romick Bates wrote that she was so sorry and praying every day for Katie's healing. Brothers Zach and Lawson Bates also expressed their heartbreak and condolences, and fans of the Bates family from their years on television mourned with Katie over this profound loss, leaving thousands of comments sharing their own miscarriage stories and offering prayers. Nobody expected what came next, a revelation that would overshadow even the tragedy of the miscarriage. The very next day, on Saturday, January 17, 2026, Travis Clark posted a confession to his Instagram stories that shocked everyone who knew the couple and had watched their relationship develop from courtship through marriage and parenthood, and his words were direct and unambiguous. "This is hard to write, but I owe the truth, and I owe an apology. I was unfaithful to my wife. I had an affair and repeatedly broke her trust." Travis continued with full acknowledgement of what he'd done, taking responsibility in a way that left no room for excuses or justifications. "There is no excuse for what I did. This was my failure and my responsibility alone," he wrote, and then admitted, "I know that words don't begin to express the damage I caused or the depth of the hurt I've brought into her life, but I am truly sorry." His confession laid out the pain he'd caused without trying to minimize anything or shift blame to circumstances or other people. "I'm sorry for the pain, humiliation, and betrayal I caused my wife through my choices," Travis wrote, and he added that he understood an apology doesn't repair what he broke, and that forgiveness is not something he deserves or can ask for, acknowledging that some violations of trust may be irreparable. The statement concluded with Travis saying he's taking responsibility by getting help and doing the work to change and become a more honest and accountable man, regardless of outcome. And he ended with a request: "I asked for privacy and grace for Katie as she processes this in her own time." The statement was brief but comprehensive, leaving little ambiguity about what had happened, while also leaving many questions unanswered. The timing left everyone reeling and sparked immediate outrage on social media. Katie had announced losing their third baby just one day earlier, and now Travis was publicly confessing to infidelity, but the details of the affair remain unknown to this day. When the affair occurred, how long it lasted, who the other person was, whether Katie knew about the affair before Travis made his public confession, or if she learned about it along with the rest of the world. None of these questions have been answered, and Travis's statement offered no additional context. Hours after Travis's confession on January 17th, Katie's brother Lawson Bates posted an Instagram reel that many interpreted as a direct response to his brother-in-law's betrayal. Working out and lifting weights filled the video while a text overlay read, "One day, someone might tell your kids, you're just like your dad. Make sure it's a compliment, not an insult." And the caption included a Bible verse about young men being sober-minded, a clear reference to maintaining self-control and moral integrity. Lawson didn't explicitly name Travis in his post, but the timing and message seemed crystal clear to those following the situation closely. Katie herself has made no public statement about Travis's affair confession as of January 18th, 2026, when this story broke widely in the media, and she hasn't responded on social media or made any indication of what her next steps might be. While no other Bates family members besides Lawson have publicly commented on the infidelity revelation, maintaining a united front of silence that may be protecting Katie's privacy. So many questions remain unanswered about this situation, and the lack of information has led to speculation across social media platforms. The current status of Katie and Travis's marriage is unclear, and nobody knows if they're separated, attempting reconciliation, or what their plans are moving forward regarding their relationship and their family. Details about when or how the affair happened remain hidden from public view. But what we do know is that Katie is dealing with two enormous betrayals at the same time: the loss of her baby and the revelation that her husband was unfaithful during some period of their marriage. This scandal hits differently given the couple's background and the values they publicly espouse throughout their courtship and marriage. Deeply religious families that emphasize traditional Christian values, marital fidelity, and the sanctity of marriage raised both Katie and Travis, and the courtship model they followed was designed specifically to lead to strong, faithful marriages that would last a lifetime. Their first kiss happened on their wedding day after years of waiting and maintaining physical boundaries, and they built their relationship on principles of purity and commitment, while Travis stayed involved in Christian ministry as a kids' choir leader and as part of a family band performing at churches across the country. Just months before this scandal broke, Travis enrolled in nursing school on June 26, 2025, which suggested the couple was planning for their future together and investing in career development that would support their growing family. Two very young children are now part of a family dealing with an unimaginable crisis that will shape their lives even though they're too young to understand what's happening. Haley will turn 3 in February 2026, and Harvey is about 1 year old, both at ages where stability and security are needed most. Katie's journey has been marked by significant hardship even before this betrayal came to light, creating a pattern of suffering that seems almost impossible for one young woman to endure. Daily injections during pregnancy were required because of her blood clotting disorders that put both her and her babies at risk. Preterm labor complications hit her when she was pregnant with Haley and required immediate medical intervention to prevent early delivery. And multiple hospitalizations for kidney stones included one where she was passing out from pain and needed surgery to remove stones that had grown to nearly a centimeter in size. Now a miscarriage and her husband's infidelity have landed on top of everything else she's endured, creating a cascade of trauma that would challenge even the strongest person. Reality television's lasting impact on families shows up clearly in this story, demonstrating how fame from childhood can create unique challenges. Bringing Up Bates ended back in 2021, but the Bates children who grew up on camera continue living portions of their lives publicly through social media. And Katie has built a following of people who watched her grow up, who celebrated her courtship and wedding, who rejoiced at the births of her children and sympathized with her health struggles. These same people are witnessing one of the most painful moments of her life unfold in real time, and there's no way to shield herself from that scrutiny now, even if she wanted privacy to process everything happening to her. The fundamentalist Christian community that the Bates family belongs to will also be watching closely to see how this situation resolves and what lessons might be drawn from it. Specific teachings about marriage, divorce, forgiveness, and reconciliation guide this community's approach to situations like these, and Travis's public confession combined with his statement that he's getting help suggests he may be seeking counseling or accountability through church leadership, which is common in these circles when someone has violated their marriage vows. What happens next for Katie and Travis Clark remains completely unknown, and the path forward is unclear for everyone involved. Travis stated in his confession that he's committed to becoming a more honest and accountable man regardless of outcome, which suggests he understands that Katie may choose not to continue the marriage and that he's prepared to accept whatever consequences follow from his actions. And his request for privacy and grace for Katie as she processes this in her own time at least acknowledges that this is her decision to make and her trauma to process on her own timeline. Right now, we're left with a young woman who married at 21, had 2 babies by 24, lost a 3rd baby at 25, and learned her husband had been unfaithful, all while dealing with serious health challenges that have required surgeries and ongoing medical treatment. A young man who publicly built his identity around his faith and family values just admitted he violated those values in the most fundamental way possible, destroying the trust that marriage requires. And 2 small children now face a fractured family they're too young to understand, growing up in the aftermath of decisions made by adults who were supposed to protect them. Katie Bates Clark's story reminds us that the lives presented on reality television are just glimpses of much more complex realities that exist behind the cameras. 6 years of cameras captured the Bates family's love, laughs, and big life moments. But those cameras weren't there for this moment of crisis. And this is Katie's life beyond the show, beyond the carefully curated social media posts, beyond the public image that people built expectations around based on edited footage and selective sharing. Whether Katie and Travis's marriage survives this betrayal, whether forgiveness and reconciliation become possible between 2 people who started with such high ideals, whether their family can heal from these compounded traumas of loss and betrayal, time will answer these questions, but not quickly or easily. What we know for certain is that a young woman who has already endured so much is now facing perhaps her greatest challenge yet. And she's doing it while the world watches and waits to see what happens next in this unfolding story of heartbreak, betrayal, and the consequences of broken vows. Claude is AI and can make mistakes. Please double-check responses.